Hello everyone, Scott here with some property news, and today we've got even more evidence that the buy-to-let sector is dead, all shifting towards corporate landlords, institutional investors, and build-to-rent on a massive scale. I have been bleating on about this for over a decade. Still, people arguing, buying buy-to-lets and thinking it's a viable strategy. Guys, there's been zero evidence. Bring me some evidence. Show me some evidence that the buy-to-let sector is wanted by the government and needed by the government. The government do not need us to solve the housing crisis. The plans are already laid. It's all these big institutional investors. Who's this today? Goldman Sachs buying properties in Manchester. JP Morgan's put $1 billion in. Lloyds Banking Group or some subsidiary, all buying properties. The future, guys, is big build-to-rent developments by this, owned by the same people that own everything. It isn't going to be you and I with individual properties. There will be very few left. You will be taxed and regulated out the market. Meanwhile, all these big companies will be given all the tax breaks, all the incentives, all the planning, all the little golden handshakes to save the day and come in and help the affordable housing market. So build to rent is the future, guys. It definitely isn't individual landlords. And I say that as someone with a letting agency. We have 500 properties in residential lettings. That business won't be here in 10 years, but there will be no clients left to serve. Guys, bring me some evidence. Always arguing with landlords, especially in Scotland. Yeah, the government need us. They don't need you. They don't want you. That sounds harsh, but I'm just saying to people that are constantly buying buy-to-lets that this is going to be a tough strategy. Why? Well, you're competing against this development here. You're competing against 10 of those in your neighbourhood. This is the future, guys. It isn't individual landlords like you and I. It is the big build-to-rent companies. The pension funds have got unlimited money. They will have unlimited tax breaks by the government, unlimited support. They will get the planning, and they'll be absolutely destroying the average landlord with that level of service. You can't have these little developments on top of buildings and, all the facilities that come with a massive build to rent development. Having your little shitty property above a takeaway just isn't going to cut it. So the government don't want you there, guys. The government aren't going to help you. They're going to tax and regulate the market. These big companies are going to be there. And I'll tell you what, the market doesn't want it. Your tenants don't want it. They're probably going to go for lovely, nice apartments like this from a company with unlimited money to do repairs. It's communal block. They own it all. There's no arguing about damp or communal repairs and one landlord not paying. I can't see how individual landlords will compete against the build-to-rent companies. They're going to be taxed badly. These big companies are going to get tax breaks. You're going to be fighting against governments. But most of all, you're not going to have a market of tenants because they're going to choose places like this over the individual landlords. They're going to be a far superior product. Devastating to hear, devastating for me because I have a letting agency and that department will be gone in 5 years. It's going to disappear probably. However, there are things we can do. Not the subject of this video, but just to show you, Goldman Sachs are buying properties in Manchester. Somebody's buying properties somewhere else. Lots of things happening. Lots of institutional investment here, and guys, this is the future. Look into it. Look at corporate landlords. Look at build to rent. There's ways to counteract this, ways to be involved in it. We've got lots of things happening here, but guys, just keep an eye on this. You're going to see these reports happening more and more. The build to rent sector is the future, and guys, they've already laid the plans for this. You can see you'll own nothing and be happy. One of the WEF things. What they mean is we will own nothing and we will need to be happy. Somebody's going to own all the rental properties. It just won't be you. The big pension funds, the big banks and big investors like BlackRock and Vanguard who own everything. The same people will own rental properties. And I guarantee you guys, it's not going to be you in any substantial way in the future.